So today we have Max here hanging out with us because today's video is a Goldendoodle video. My number one most asked question is about Goldendoodle hair, which is so crazy to me. And because I never asked anything about their hair when I first got Max. Max is 5 or 6 years old. And I just never thought about it, but you guys are absolutely geniuses and so smart with asking about all things hair care before you purchase your dog. Like, that is just so smart. Anyways, so today's video I'm going to be talking about everything you need to know about Goldendoodle hair from puppy stage all the way till they're adults. We're going to be talking about shedding. Yes, I get so many questions about shedding, and I even have video footage showing you how much this guy sheds and what it looks like and whatnot. And I also have some tips and tricks for the shedding. We're going to be talking about what their hair looks like as puppies compared to adults. I get a lot of questions about that too. How do you know what their hair is going to look like as an adult? And just much more. I'm not necessarily going to share hair products, like products that I love for him, like combs and brushes and shampoo and stuff like that in this video. I think I'm going to do a whole separate video for that. Click the like or comment below if you think that that's a really great idea. That way I can really tell you why I like those products, because I've tried a lot of different shampoos and it really does make a difference in how your dog smells and how the hair looks. So yeah, if you want to see that video, comment below. And if you're new, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to my jungle. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you can be notified every single time I upload a video. I upload every single Saturday. So I do have Max, he's an F1 Goldendoodle, and Bea is an F1B Goldendoodle. So I'll be showing you guys videos and pictures and talking about the F1 and F1B because those are the two that I've owned. I am not a professional. I'm not a professional dog trainer. I am a pet owner, and I'd like to share my story, my big family with all my pets with you guys on this channel. And I just want to put that out there that I am not an expert on Goldendoodles. I'm sharing my thoughts and my experience with you, as if you came over to my house, we're hanging out because we're pals, and see my Goldendoodle and you're like, hey, is that a Goldendoodle? Yeah, it is a Goldendoodle.
What do you think about the hair? Is it hypoallergenic?
I don't know. Good question. I'm just going to answer your guys' questions as if you're my friends, and I'm just telling you my experience. So take it with a grain of salt. You can always do your own research, and you have your own opinions, and ask around, and yeah, that's cool with me.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's basically, we need to get you a special Max chair because 60-pound dog, that's a lot. That's a lot. Most important thing in this whole video, number one most important thing, is this right here, the Long Sexy Hair Luxe Blowout. I use that to blow out my hair for you guys today.
Wait. Is this a video about me or you? Are we on my beauty channel? Or are we in the jungle channel?
I'm just kidding, you guys, but in all seriousness, I did do my hair for you guys and use this amazing blowout little spray. And I do have my own beauty channel, but all you women out there, long hair, get you some long sexy hair. I know you guys don't like it when I do that, but it's like happy as can be. So really quickly, what is an F1? What's an F1B? F1 Goldendoodle is a golden retriever and a poodle mixed together, and they make babies. Okay, an F1B is an F1 Goldendoodle mixed with a poodle, and they make babies. So that's what they are. If you want to know more about the differences between F1, F1B, F2, I'll link up a video up in the iCard. You can go check it out where I explain it. And in that description box, I even give you guys more information, different websites, and I explain it more clearly in that video. So go check that out if you haven't seen that. So as puppies, every puppy is different, especially when you have a breed like this, where you can get some puppies that are more golden retriever and you can get some puppies that are more poodle. So Max's siblings don't all necessarily look like him. Some maybe have more wavy straight hair and some have maybe more curly hair because they took after the poodle more. Max is a really good model for what a typical F1 looks like. As in, this is like the perfect in between. As in, it's not too much golden retriever, it's not too much poodle. It really is a perfect mix, in my opinion, of both. Is his hair texture, because it's not super curly and super unmanageable, and if you feel it, it's like it feels thin. It doesn't feel like poodle hair. It feels like a golden retriever's hair, but with some curls into it. Now, of course, in his hair he has different textures, so like back here it's a little bit more like rough than in the front, but that's just how all Goldendoodle breed dogs are going to be like. You just want to be all up in my business. All up in my business. Bea, on the other hand, is very, very curly. With F1 Goldendoodles as puppies, they all pretty much have like straighter, wavy, mostly straight hair. And that's typical for an F1 doodle. They tend to, as puppies, they tend to be straighter and they get curlier as they get older. That kind of, I notice, is the same kind of with the F1Bs, although you can tell when they're gonna have curly hair because as babies, they have curly hair. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're looking for an F1 Goldendoodle and you see that their puppies don't have curly hair, that's typical between the Goldendoodles. They'll get, as they shed that puppy hair, that puppy coat, they will start to have more curly, more textured hair, just so that you know. Now with the F1Bs, I feel like their puppies, you can see that some are curlier than others, and when they grow up, those that are curlier have curlier hair, and those that are more straighter tends to have more of a straighter hair situation. So that's something to keep in mind between the two. So for example, you guys see Max's as a puppy. He looks totally different than he looks now, and he looks so cute. I love him so much. And Bea, as a puppy as well, had a little bit more curlier hair. Not like super curly, but you could tell that she was going to be a curly-haired dog, which is exactly what I wanted. And then her hair got really curly and really beautiful as she grew up. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, Goldendoodles do shed a puppy coat. So they do shed it. They do get rid of their puppy coat. But that's the only time that they really like do a whole all over shed, where there's a lot of hair, is when they're getting that kind of off them. Now, as I said before, every Goldendoodle is different. If the Goldendoodle you have takes after a Golden Retriever more, they're going to shed more. There's going to be more hair everywhere. Stop. Don't point that thing at me. Jeez. But if they have more of the poodle hair, they're not going to shed as adults as much. Hardly ever. So like I said, Max is a good in-between. And Bea took more of the poodle side. So she never shed. Like, she got rid of her puppy hair, but she never shed as an adult. I never saw her hair fluffs anywhere. And she's an F1B, okay? Because she took more of the poodle side. But the risk that you run with that, just so you know, is a lot of her brothers and sisters had very straight hair and shed a lot. And her mom was a Goldendoodle that had very straight hair, and it was like shaggy, and I'm not going to say ugly, but I definitely did not like that hair. But Bea turned out totally different because she took more of the poodle side. So that's something to kind of keep in mind with your Goldendoodle that you're looking at. Everyone's different, and some people say they shed, some people say they don't. It just depends which Goldendoodle you got. Yes, so but all Goldendoodles will shed their puppy hair. That's just something to look for. That's just something that's absolutely normal. Now, as they get older, that's when you really get to see their hair coat, and it's really cool. It's really fun. So you guys always ask me, is it hard to maintain? I feel like an F1 Goldendoodle doesn't get as much tangles as an F1B because Bea was very, very curly, and I feel like it's easier to comb out Max, and he gets less tangles than she did, which is actually really interesting. Now, to help with tangles and to help with shedding, a tip that I'm going to give you guys is keep their hair short. If that's something that bothers you, seeing fluffs, because literally when they shed, it looks like fluff. That's what it looks like. Keep their hair short. I never see shedding fluffs from Max when his hair is short. When his hair is long like this, especially if I've forgotten to comb him in a while, you're gonna see those fluffs like on his doggy bed and where he just laid down. Like, he'll get up and Oh, there's a fluff. So I'm going to show you guys what it looks like when my Goldendoodle F1 sheds. Like I said before, Bea didn't shed at all, like never saw any fluffs. So there's no footage there for her. But I'm going to show you because this is one of my most asked questions about their shedding. And do they shed a lot? My little perfect guy here doesn't shed a ton, but they definitely can if they take a lot of the golden retriever side. So I'm going to show you guys what the fluff looks like. Always ask me or tell me that Goldendoodles shed, and some do. You're right. This is how much Max sheds, and this is literally like once every year I'll find a fluff ball. This is his shedding. It accumulates together like a fluff ball. Is this yours? Did you do this? Did you shed? Is this your hair? Tell me the truth. He's like, yeah, that is. This is literally like this little piece. This is his shedding. So like I said, I only get those fluffs around his pillow and around where he's been laying when I haven't either combed him in a while or when his hair's long like this. But if I wanted to kind of minimize that, all I have to do is give him a short haircut, which is summertime, so he's due for a short haircut, aren't you?
Why is there like dust in the air right now? Because you're shedding?
One thing you need to know about Goldendoodle hair is that they have hair, they don't have fur. They have hair. So that means it grows. Like the hair on your head, it's going to grow. So you definitely need to be committed to maintaining it. So combing it so that they don't get knots, because you won't be able to get those knots out. If they do, you'll have to shave them down to the bare skin to get those out. You have to be willing to comb them. I say comb them every day or every other day is my suggestion. Just to keep tangles out. If your Goldendoodle doesn't have curly hair, you probably won't have to do that as often. But like every other day, every 2 days, comb them out so that they're not like super crazy. And number two, because they have hair, they can stink. I don't know if you've ever been around a poodle or like any other dogs that have hair, like Yorkies. They can stink. They definitely can stink. So you definitely want to wash them every 2 weeks. You don't want to wash them too much because it's like your own hair. You can dry their hair out. And you definitely don't want to do that. You want them to have really shiny, really healthy looking hair. So every 2 weeks, I would recommend washing and drying them. Drying them with a dryer, because if you try to let them air dry, they're not like other dogs. Their hair will take hours, over 2 hours, you guys. I've done it where his hair was this long, and I tried to let him dry out in the Arizona sun because we were working out in the yard, and literally over 2 hours for his whole hair to get dry. Not just the top, but like inside his head, like really under there, like that undercoat that's close to his skin took forever to dry. So you definitely want to use a hair dryer. I have a whole video about grooming them, cutting and shampooing and drying their hair. I'll link it up in an iCard so you can go check it out. But you definitely want to be drying their hair and washing their hair every 2 weeks so they don't stink. And in between washes, here's another tip, guys, so listen up. They actually have dry shampoo. Can you sit down? You are all up in my face.
Thank you.
So, in between washes, you can actually get doggy dry shampoo. Doggy dry shampoo. So it helps to make their hair smell good in between washes. It doesn't necessarily clean their hair, but it helps get oil out and helps them smell better. So if you have a really sensitive nose and you find that 2 weeks they're not getting washed enough, like 2 weeks is not enough, try using a dry shampoo. In that video where I share products, I'll share my favorite one with you guys. But definitely look that up, you guys, because it's awesome. Game changer, absolutely. Especially when I was pregnant and I was like, can't handle his smell. Even though we had just washed him, like the doggy smell made me so nauseous. Using a dry shampoo spray for a dog is so amazing. Don't go buy your people dry shampoo, girls. Buy one for specifically made for dogs. You don't want to be spraying like random hairspray in their hair because, yeah, I don't know how well that's going to go. Can you see his gray hair? Look how he's looking at me in those eyes. Oh my gosh. But yeah, it's because he has black hair. And he is only 5 or 6 years old. And these guys live till they're 12, so 5 and 6 is not very old. So, but he has gray hair because he has black hair. So that's just something to keep in mind when you're getting a black golden doodle and you see the gray hairs, you're like, oh, he's getting old. No, it's just a thing that his hair does. It's just how it is. Another thing to know about their hair, and I've mentioned it before, that if you find that 2 weeks, that after you've washed their hair, they still smell funky and you're using a good shampoo, and you still they still stink, then try changing out their dog food. Now, this is the weirdest thing, and I've looked it up several times. Their dog food can actually affect how they smell and how quickly they stink. So just keep that in mind. With his, I had to switch him out of, when I first got him, I didn't know that that's what it was, but I gave him some dog food that the breeder gave them, and then I switched him to another food, and he would just smell so quickly, and I didn't understand why, because we would wash him and he would go to the grooming salon, and even then when we knew he was getting a good wash, he still kind of had an odor, a weird smell, and he would stink so quickly like we couldn't even handle it. So it wasn't until I researched and realized that sometimes their food, especially if it's something that's not very healthy, can make them stink. So you definitely want to be giving them really good food so they can smell good, so they can be healthy. So try that if you find that your golden doodle is just a little stinky, like too stinky. Try switching out his food and trying getting him something that's actually really healthy. And you can look at the back of your food to see what the ingredients are, and the ingredients that are listed first towards those are the ingredients that your food is made most of. So those are at the front, and at the end are kind of like not really in the food as much, or like a lower percentage of that ingredient is in the food, if that makes any sense. So that's another tip if you notice that your dog's hair is a little bit stinky. Are these dogs hypoallergenic? Like I said before, each golden doodle is different. Hyperallergenic means that if you're allergic to dogs, you can be around them. I think golden doodle is one of the better breeds for someone that needs that hypoallergenic factor. Now, like I said before, each dog is different. Each puppy is different. Some say that yes, they are. Some say that no, they're not. It just depends. I think that F1s are probably the better chance of getting a hyperallergenic dog. That's my own opinion, though. That's just what I think. I think that the more they shed, the more that you're going to be allergic to it. And also, of course, keeping the golden doodles clean, because of course dust particles can get onto their hair and can make you feel like you're allergic because you're sneezing all the time, when it could just be dust particles in their hair. So that's just something to keep in mind. Are they hypoallergenic dogs? I think you should try it. I think if you're allergic to dogs, they're definitely a good breed for you to try. It just depends which type that you get. So like I said earlier, because they have hair, their hair grows. So you have to really be prepared to either pay a groomer to cut their hair, because their hair will get so long. It just grows and grows and grows and grows. Unlike Dalmatians, unlike pit bulls, unlike German shepherds, where they have dog fur. I don't even know if fur is the right word, but where they don't have actual hair that continues to grow like our hair on our head grows. Yeah, their hair grows. So they're very different than other breeds. So you have to understand that you need to cut their hair so that they don't get a ton of knots, so that they're healthy. So just know that. Are you willing to pay the groomer? Are you? Or are you going to cut their hair yourself? And if you do, that's an investment as well, because you got to get some hair clippers, you got to get blades specifically for Goldendoodles because their hair is rough and their curly hair, like the normal blade isn't going to cut it for their whole entire hair. Like it's not going to work because they need a blade that's specific for their hair type. So kind of think about Goldendoodles curls and their hair like someone that has really curly hair. So you can't use the same things. You have to use different products than other people, and their hair can be very difficult sometimes, and their hair can get very knotty, and that's just something you're gonna have to deal with. Another thing about Goldendoodle hair that you definitely need to know is that sometimes their hair will especially get knotted around their collar. You really need to think about what kind of collar you're going to put on them. You can't put on the same collar that you put on everybody else. Definitely no to any metal at all, because their hair will get so tangled in there. It's poor Goldendoodle, because that's going to hurt to try to get out. Okay, so try to stay away from metal. Even the normal dog leashes, even the normal dog collars, I find just don't help, and they're not good for Goldendoodles. My favorite dog collar of all time is either the rope that's twisted, and that's the one that I have on him right now, or leather collars, you guys. Leather collars are amazing. They're going to keep your dog from getting matted and tangled around that collar, their hair that's specifically designed for those kind of dogs. So the leather collars are absolutely amazing, as well as the twisty rope ones. That's what I use on Max. I've used leather before, but I just recently got this one because it was so cute and it works really well. It doesn't contribute to matting. It doesn't get hair stuck in there. It's just a really good collar, and I absolutely love it. So that's definitely something you have to think about too, that people don't really think about. Like, what kind of collar are you putting around your Goldendoodle's neck? You don't want something that's going to cause more tangles, cause them to hurt and get knots and get mats. Because first off, if you take him to the groomer and he has mats and they can't get it out, they're going to shave him down. They're going to shave him down, and if that's not what you want to take care of his hair so that he doesn't have any knots or mats. So that's it. That's everything to do with Goldendoodle hair that I think that you should know, basically, that you need to know. That's Goldendoodle Hair 101. And a bunch of tips and tricks. Max is actually due for another haircut, and you guys know I cut their hair. I cut my Goldendoodle hair. So I was thinking about doing a video where I follow another Goldendoodle tutorial where an actual hair groomer shows you how to do like a teddy haircut or something like that on your dog. Would you guys like to see something like that? I thought that would be kind of fun, where I try to follow a groomer tutorial on how to cut hair and see if we can make Max look as good as this groomer makes their dog look. I don't know. I thought this would be a fun challenge. Comment below if you think that I should do that video, or give me a like if you think that that's a good idea, and maybe I will. But yeah, you guys, it's been fun. I hope you're doing well. I hope your Goldendoodles are doing well. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. I love you. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.